The mythos of the state is like a core principle for fascism. That is the mobilizing. Like you need to see the state as something that like you were a part of this mythical project where like you are a unique people, you are a unique collection of people comprising a unique organism, and anything outside of your unique organism has nothing to do with you. So you need to make sure that you are a healthy part of this organism. You would want to be really clear about what that motivating factor is, that characterization of like the way that you view the state. And yes, it is true that there are people that are going to be motivated to not step out of line. But the reason why is not necessarily just because the state will crack down on you, but also the people will. You're not just an enemy of the state, you're an enemy of the people. The people are united behind fascism. The people are a part of a mythical project of the unique existence of the state. It's not just that the state's gonna crack, everyone's gonna crack down on you because you are the outside, you are them. It's a largely psychological process that you're doing with people.
Fascism can evolve while still trying to achieve the same ends and not in any way, shape, or form altering how it comes about in a strictly predictive and holistic sense. There's always going to be subtleties. There's always going to be slight alterations in the plan. You know.
What?
Nothing's ever perfectly what it's supposed to be.
What?
Definitionally, when it comes to organizations that control countries, but just understand that fascism moves on. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know. I don't know what you mean.
It's going to change. It will be different, and it will describe itself differently, but it will be what it is, and it will try to achieve the ends that it goes for, because ultimately we'll have the primary the operative.
It's not really an ends to fascism. There's no like utopia.
Primarily, it will always have the same operative characteristics at the heart of it, the same engine running it.
Which are?
But if you get distracted by the artifice that's up top, you know, how things are talked about, how things are argued, the sort of language and the niceties that are used to massage the negative aspects of it, you can get tricked into thinking you're seeing something that you're not, because it has a slightly different set of surface characteristics, when really at the bottom what you are seeing is establishment of an in-group and an out-group, establishing the out-group as a moral peril, and then establishing a further out-group beyond the bounds of the country.
But those are things that fascists could be mobilized to do.
As a permanent barbarian invader class that's trying to come into your country and kill everybody. So you have
that can be something that fascism is motivated to do. That doesn't tell you what fascism is.
To perpetually remain at war and conflict and all this sort of stuff, and establishing a primary sort of essentialist version of a folk, that whole deal.
Well, it doesn't sound like he has a good idea of what it is. Okay, so I guess we've established that his definition of fascism is basically just like random characteristics that he's seen fascist states do. It doesn't seem like he has a good idea of like why they do it. But he says also, part of the title is that that leftists are susceptible, or that a leftist can be a fascist or something. Does he talk about leftists are not immune to fascism? Let's see if he clarifies that.
So I got frustrated with Tyler for seemingly comparing socialism and fascism. I acknowledge I may have misinterpreted though. You can compare anything.
What? Wait, what? How?
Socialism doesn't necessarily mean social services.
Oh.
Social safety nets are an aspect of socialism, but if socialism progresses to the perfect end state of communism, you won't have social services because you wouldn't need them. I don't know how the fuck you make that actually happen. But like that's another thing. Like if you don't need, that's the thing with socialism. If it doesn't actually provide it, you wouldn't even have it. You know what I mean? Like if there's another version of socialism that empowers the working class and allows them to maintain the fruits of their labor, you might not need social services because maybe the income is fixed, or maybe magic space communism happens and you can't be like harmed anymore. You know what I mean? I know that's going off into the fucking sci-fi territory, but that's to kind of push the point so far that you understand why I'm saying that. It might not be social services that accomplish the thing that you want, which is it might not be unions that get you there. Although those are stopgap measures basically to achieve the end state, and may be the only state that you can achieve because the end state's actually legitimately impossible and the holding state is within there. Those might...
What the fuck is he talking about?
Not actually be the thing. So like
What the fuck?
So those are stopgap measures, basically, to achieve the end state, and may be the only state that you can achieve because the end state's actually legitimately impossible, and the holding state is within there. Those might not actually be the thing. So, like, the point of saying that is, it would probably help you now immediately, obviously, and I'm still in my own mind literally. If you guys have heard me call government's service districts again and again and again and again, you probably know where I stand on this thing. And if you are confused about that, you're being dumb.
Is this schizo critique of communism? I don't know if he knows what communism is either.
There might be the developments in a social society or a socialist society where something like a social service would not be necessary. It just wouldn't, or it might exist and it wouldn't be called that. Which is why I think more than likely there is never going to be like any end state communism, and it's not really something that's worth kind of like fighting for, considering it's, you know, trying to like, you know, maybe we can all jump higher in a year, but I don't think we can jump to the moon, and I don't think we maybe necessarily need to in order to achieve the best state for humanity. It might not actually be communism. It might be something else.
What? He doesn't know what it is, does he? It doesn't seem like he knows what fascism is. It seems like he doesn't know what communism is. There's that video before where he was saying that, like, if you're on welfare, then you're just a lazy piece of shit and you're not like a pro worker or some shit like that. Like, what is the, like, how do you get to this sort of position where you're a political commentator online talking to an audience of people specifically about leftist ideas or whatever, and you don't know the definition for basically any of the things that you're saying? What, like, I don't understand how you get into that kind of position. I know that kind of thing happens, and I can see it happening with people that want to be part of a particular kind of in group, like if they want to be with Vosh or they want to be with Demon Mama or whatever, and he seems to be kind of like he seems to like hate all of these people. So, like, I don't know, how did it happen?
And they're trying to achieve the best state for humanity is what we're supposed to be doing. That's like actual futurism. And if the best state isn't socialism, but some sort of magical capitalism where everything actually does work out the way that the capitalists say that it does in their sort of like mental dream state, then in that insane hypothetical, technically I would go with the other one. Because I don't have a team in this, and you really shouldn't. That's kind of where the downfall comes, is you shouldn't have a team. Your friends from the cool socialism might not actually be that cool, and they might be sociopathic fascists who are going to take advantage of the socialist precursor condition and the post-revolutionary action in order to seize control, and then all of a sudden, fuck, you're going to a camp. God damn it. Whoops. The only reason I'm saying it is because it's happened so many fucking times. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching Westside Tyler Live.